Ba 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 ba. I hate myself.
So it's recording.
Why don't we just take it? Let's just jump right into it. You got your little notebook.
Well, yeah, let's. I got my notes. So the fucking French. That's how I start out with this. The fucking French, because
I love Jean Reno.
That whole he's the best thing about this movie. Easily. One
of the few things I remember, him doing an Elvis impersonation.
Yes. There you go. So there's one thing that you remember.
I'm telling you, but it's weird. It's things that don't make sense.
Do you remember the gum scene? They're in the warehouse and they're like, why does everybody have... Matthew Broderick is like, why does everybody have gum? And Jean Reno is like, it makes us look more American.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember like when Matthew Broderick first goes to the scene where there's like the footprint. One of like the other scientists like sneezes in his hand. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I have a summer cold." And I remember that because I'm like, "Why is that in here?" that like what?
Comedy.
That wasn't funny.
Comedy, Paul.
What's the comedy? That he has a cold specifically in the summer?
A lot of this movie is bad, dated humor.
How much of it comes from Yank My Area? Hank Azaria.
No, actually, he was like one of the better parts of the movie.
That makes me happy because I love that man.
No, he kind of stood out. He was good. He was the only holdover. Like, okay, you still work. I mean, the majority of your stuff still works. So the French, it starts off with like the experiments or whatever, and
all the nuclear testing. Yeah.
So they don't really say. I don't know if you remember this. They don't give a timeline.
Yeah, they don't.
There's no timeline. It leads me to suspect that what was shown in the credits
was the French testing initially.
The French testing initially was just like recent.
Yeah, well, didn't they do...
There's no...
tests in the 90s, though? The French?
I don't know. I don't know if that's what that's in context to, because they don't say a date.
They also insinuate that Godzilla is an iguana.
Yes. Because the opening.
Because they show that a lot.
But they also say that it's the only one to be irradiated and to grow large, even though there were multiple ones, and it's pregnant somehow, and its gender doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, that Godzilla's a girl.
No, they reference it as a boy.
Oh yeah, they say he's
pregnant.
Yeah,
and they say gender doesn't matter because he's asexual, and all the creatures are born pregnant.
Hashtag feminism.
Hashtag
self-love.
Yeah, I don't know. Transgender people. I don't know. Anyway, and then we have, David Arnold did the score, who is famous for most of the James Bond stuff in the 90s.
That reminds me, I bought something when I was in the city that you'll love. It's Theater of the Mind.
Let's see what it is. Ooh, let me see this.
I got a vinyl of James Bond's greatest hits at like a little flea market thing.
So is it like...
It's the originals of everything. It's like almost all... It's like all the really, really good songs.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, I know, right?
Damn.
It's like $15. I was very happy with it.
Nice. That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
If they had to, I definitely would have picked one up for you, but they didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, I couldn't. I don't have a record player. So.
Yeah, but just to have,
like
a conversation piece. Like I don't read, but I got a bookshelf.
You read books?
I don't do that. I watch movies.
So anyway, it has a cool intro. Do you remember it at all?
Yeah.
It's the Japanese boat.
It's a sub, I thought. It's a fishing.
It's a fishing boat. Yeah. Well,
I remember the claw coming through. I remember that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. This movie, why I enjoyed it so much, was the setup, and I like the setup for Independence Day, but then towards the hour mark in Independence Day, I just kind of like lose interest. And the same thing with this movie.
Yeah, well,
and this is his follow-up.
Not a subtle individual.
No, he's not. This was his follow-up because Independence Day was 96. This was 98. So this is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And right off the gate, he rips off Spielberg with Jurassic Park so goddamn much.
Yeah, if I remember it, I mean, the entire sequence in Madison Square Garden, they were functionally raptors.
They were raptors, yeah. But there's a lot of other stuff with seeing Godzilla for the first time. That's like an awe-inspiring thing.
Yeah, I remember him being shrouded in boats. Like boats were just covering him and falling off as he was walking around the city the first time.
There's the one part where he comes out of the water because that old guy caught a fish, but it was actually Godzilla, and the fucking thing would have ripped out of his hands or he would have been dragged under the water, which makes no sense to me.
It doesn't, but functionally, that is kind of a cool scene. Like when he comes up and it's the two fins and like it's just him walking, and I mean those homeless people just watched that guy died. They just sat down. Didn't they just sit back down?
They just sat down and
drank.
just laughed at him for fishing out in the fucking rain. It was awful. And the guy from The Simpsons, the newscaster, who wanted to fuck Audrey, who looks like Leslie Mann but isn't Leslie Mann.
Yeah, discount Leslie Wallman and Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria's wife is annoying as fuck in it.
I remember that being a thing, yeah.
She is really New York, like stereotypical New York accent.
I don't know.
Both of them are.
I mean, you might not be able to tell by our more or less non-regional dialect, except for maybe when we say coffee, which we don't. We're from New York. More specifically, Long Island, which is right next to New York City, and we're there a whole lot, and people don't act like that.
Yeah.
They just don't.
So do you remember the CG?
I'm sure it has not aged well.
No, it has not aged well. There's parts that are decent, but mostly no, it has not aged well. But there is one. It looks like a practical shot, and it's in the dock scene, like right after the old man gets violently ripped apart in the dock, where he's got like a truck or a boat in his mouth, and it's a shot.
Doritos truck.
Was it the Doritos truck?
I remember they recut that for a Doritos commercial.
Oh, well, it didn't have there was no logo or anything on the thing, but like it's a shot looking up, and you see like his head, and it's just moving around.
Yeah, I remember that not looking too bad.
And that was really good. And they have stuff like that. It's very minimal, but that stuff really works.
Do you remember when they, speaking of ripping off Spielberg, when they ape Jaws?
That was yeah, I was going to get to that. They have the fishing boats.
Bigger guns.
Oh,
there's a Jaws reference in the movie.
Yeah, no, with the guns, but there is the fishing boats. There's the 3 fishing boats in the water, and they're like right before he gets to New York.
Oh yeah,
they're all designed like the orca from Jaws.
Shit, you're right. I never noticed that.
It even starts off with the 3 characters at night with the one light source, top lit, lighting them from below. And they kind of have like the matching shirts or whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to rewatch that. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a complete fucking ripoff.
Or is it an homage? No, it's a ripoff.
No, it's all a ripoff.
It's a ripoff.
Because wasn't he being compared to Spielberg at the time?
Maybe in terms of spectacle, but certainly not in terms of like quality storytelling.
No, this is definitely not quality storytelling.
But what about Nick Todopoulos? Is it something to...
I found him fucking annoying. Like, he was completely miscast as this character. And it's like, you know who would have been really good? Jeff Goldblum. He could have pulled this off. Could have just came back around to do that.
So I'm trying to remember. Okay, the reason for bringing... I'm just going to call him Matthew Broderick. Wasn't he like doing some kind of study with the worms at Chernobyl?
Yes. He was studying the effect of the radiation of the worms at Chernobyl, and he found out that they were like 3 times larger than a normal earthworm. And they brought him in because of that reason. And then apparently he became like, every time there's like a news story or something going on, he's always like front and center. Like he's always being filmed, or like he's always like, the government's doing secret work, blah, blah, blah. And all you see is Matthew Broderick coming in and out of like helicopters or trucks or whatever. I was like, why is he that important? He doesn't seem that important. Yeah, that's what I have. My notes right there.
Yeah.
And Audrey, his girlfriend, who's not his girlfriend, but they still love each other, even though it doesn't really seem like their relationship is so strange. It doesn't make any sense to me. So she left him. What are you doing?
I accidentally just Uber Eats the wrong place. Shit.
What did you Uber Eats to?
Where I was on location filming last night.
Oh, so you told...
It's going to fucking...
Schmidt's Farm?
It's going to Schmidt's Farm right now.
Alright, should we just pause this?
Brief pause.
Fucking...
We're now recording again. Sorry about that.
You fuck.
Crisis averted, everyone. Crisis averted.
What was it? Okay. So... How the fuck do you lose a huge creature? Okay, so like after his initial attack, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was like really fun. The way that they shot it was really cool. You don't see a lot of him.
They definitely do make him like an imposing, like, oh yeah, he's not to be fucked with.
But after that, it all kind of goes downhill because like they say, we lost him. How the fuck do you lose this creature? They say it's like, oh, well, these buildings he could easily hide.
Really?
How?
Like behind it?
Next to it? Like
there's 8 million people in that city at that time, I think.
Yeah, this is when they start evacuating. Yeah, they say like 8 million people live in the city. How do we evacuate it? No, 3 million. They say 3
millions. We'll just say millions.
We'll just
and
say
it's
millions.
only like how many square miles is Manhattan?
Yeah. Well, it's an island. It's surrounded by water on all sides. It's an easy place to hide.
That's what an island is. You could have just said it's an island. It's a plateau surrounded by water on 3 sides.
Take that up with Matthew Broderick.
I will. Who killed a couple.
He did murder people.
With his car.
Yeah. He is just so like... He doesn't have any like emotion.
He's very bland.
He is very
in that
bland.
movie.
He's very like happy.
Which he probably shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be happy.
But you know who's even more bland, if I remember correctly? I only remember one redeeming quality. Audrey, is that her name? The love interest?
Audrey, yeah.
The only thing that she does that ever like stuck with me was a funny little bit about when they're like, Godzilla, and she's like, it's Gojira, you morons.
Yeah.
And that's it. She is useless.
Yeah.
Doesn't she betray him
She
too?
betrays him for like...
Fame.
For fame. But like she instantly regrets it. Because there's like a whole storyline about like how her friend is like, you gotta be tougher. Because the guy who's sexually abusing you at work, you know, is not going to do anything for you unless you fuck him. So you got to be like tough. So you got to get tough. And so she's like, okay, so I'll betray the person that I love instead of fuck over the news anchor guy.
Wait, was her advice to was she pro or anti fucking the guy to forward her career?
No, she was anti fucking the guy. She wanted her to quit or whatever.
No, I
but like she was saying, it's like you got to stick up for yourself. You got to fight or whatever.
I just remember Hank Azaria narrowly getting not stepped on.
Yeah,
that being kind of awesome.
There was a bad bit of humor in there where like he's trying to slam the tape into the camera.
Yeah, and
then he stops for a second. And he's like, "Oh, wait a minute," and he just pushes it down and then reloads it into the camera because it's like a tape deck thing. Doesn't
his wife scream and call him a retard when he goes after Godzilla?
Yeah. When he first gets the camera, like at that point, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, there's terrible humor, especially there's a running gag where Jean Reno gets coffee and he's pissed off that the coffee is disgusting. So he's
French.
Yeah, I know. And that's the joke. And they do that 3 times.
I don't remember that. I remember him doing an Elvis impersonation.
There's a part where he's in like a truck, like a surveillance truck. And they're looking at Matthew Broderick and all the army guys. And for some reason, there's still like a deli open or like a Dunkin' Donuts type place open. And so his underling comes in and he gives him coffee. And he drinks it like, oh, you call this coffee? And he's like, this is America. And it's like, oh. And that's the joke. He's like, oh. And then there's another time where it's surveillance in a hotel room and he drinks coffee while on the phone and he's like, this is disgusting. What is this? I thought you said this was French roast. And then another underling, a different underling, comes out of the bathroom with a Folgers French roast ground can. And he's like, see? French roast. And then John Renault is like, more cream. And that's the joke. Aren't you laughing hysterically? I mean, aren't you on the floor rolling around? Isn't it great, Paul?
Does he ever get...
No.
So what's the third? Because comedy comes in threes. What's the third one?
I think it's
like in Madison Square Garden. Does he see like a fucking little coffee stand? And
I forgot what the third one was, but I don't think he gets his wish of having good coffee. So yeah, there's that kind of shit that happens. And it's mostly played with Audrey, comedy, played off with her friend and Hank Azaria, which kind of is able to float, but not that much.
Remember when they killed Godzilla 2/3 into the movie and he was totally dead?
Which, first of all, do you remember the helicopter scenes?
Yeah, when they destroy the Chrysler building and stuff.
Yeah, so there's a shit ton of helicopters.
Yeah.
There's
our tracking missiles don't work because he's a cold-blooded.
Yeah, that they say that in the movie, yeah. Also the fact, before I get into the insane amount of helicopters in this movie, the mayor is Mayor Ebert.
Oh, no, I know.
And his assistant is Gene.
Yeah. And they gives a thumbs down at the end. It's a very thinly veiled attack
on them, yeah. Because I think they hated Independence Day.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, to be fair, to defend Roland Emmerich, which is a sentence I don't say often, on some level, those two can go fuck themselves. Siskel and Ebert have been viciously wrong about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
You ever see what he fucking said about The Thing?
Yeah.
Or what they said about Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of movies that were great and they were too hoity-toity up their own asses to fucking admit it.
Yeah. But, I mean...
So I'm glad they're dead.
Jesus.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
that was a jaw-droppingly offensive joke.
Yeah, that's like getting like a brain tumor bad.
Yeah.
That's how they died. So, I remember loving the helicopter chase as a kid. Yeah, like, I love like reenacting that, like just playing that. And seeing it now, it's so fucking ridiculous because helicopters don't move like this. Also, the fact that Godzilla is just everywhere. He's omnipotent in this movie. Because there's... Okay, do you remember the scene where, like, it's like, oh, we got him cornered or whatever.
Oh, and they fire shitload.
Yeah,
and then
into
he just
the building.
comes through
he comes through the building behind them and attacks them. And then after that, there's one lone helicopter. And the helicopter's going through and he's like, I think I'm good. And then the rip-off Jaws scene where...
He comes from underneath.
How the effing fuck is that possible? This is where the movie completely loses its mind. And it's kind of okay because it's like, okay, we're just starting now. I could still buy this. But then there's fish.
That's a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. He acts so, like, surprised, even though it's his fucking idea.
I think he's, oh, wow, something I proposed worked. Neat. He looks like the kind of fucking guy that says neat unironically.
Yeah. But then that's the bigger guns thing. how to get onto the helicopter. An awkward exchange between our leads when they meet. Yes. Do you remember the scene? It's like a noir film. Like after this the big battle with the helicopters, they meet in a
Strip
CVS.
Club?
No.
Oh yeah, isn't he getting pregnancy tests?
Yeah, he's getting pregnancy tests.
Which why? I mean, besides to forward the plot, why?
Well, because he never had the initial idea that they were pregnant. I think he needed them because they contained a chemical that would help analyze his blood.
Is Kathy Griffin in this movie?
No, that's not Kathy Griffin.
Oh, it's Discount Kathy Griffin. Which is ironic because Kathy Griffin is Discount Kathy Griffin.
But anyway, it's odd to me because why are you going to a drugstore to get these specific chemicals when you can ask the government
who is currently backing you? It's
Yeah.
not like you're a freelance guy. Like you got fucking
hookups?
Yeah, man.
You got connections. Why
You're
you
sponsored.
Why are you going to this like mom and pop CVS ripoff store to get a shit ton of pregnancy tests? And then Audrey just comes in and is like, "Oh, hey Nick. Oh, Audrey, it's you. Wow." And the store clerk is like, "It's going to be $9.95 for all these pregnancy tests." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Wow, Audrey, you're back."
Yeah, wasn't it like not awkward? Like this is poorly acted. Like wasn't it almost intentionally awkward? Almost like you run into an ex in a public place and you're like, "Oh, I don't really want to talk to you, but we have to engage in like a way." It's like, "Hey, oh wow, yeah, no, yeah, oh, I gotta go, but yeah."
No, but they both seem like
See you on LinkedIn.
They both seemed like overjoyed about it though. And then like she asked him, "Is like, are you still mad that I left you 9 years ago for being a reporter or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a little mad."
Wait, she broke up with him to be a reporter?
Yeah. And then she never got to be a reporter.
Dave.
And so she lied.
Dave, we can't be together. I'm a senator.
Yeah.
Why does that preclude you from a romantic relationship? Because I'm a senator. And she's a reporter.
Yep, she's a reporter.
Listen, we all know women can't choose between they have to choose between a job and a man. You can't have both.
Yeah.
It's actually impossible.
It's in the contract of being
when
a
you
woman.
become a reporter, it's technically female genital mutilation, but they do a female circumcision.
Yeah, and that's it for you.
Sewn shut, and there you go.
Same thing with a senator.
Yeah, same thing with senator.
Yeah. It's law.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that the law is wrong or right. I'm just saying that that's exactly what it is, and we can't argue that.
Oh, and then he's shocked that he is a she for some reason, but then he keeps calling him a he.
Well, we don't want to damage the fragile ego of all the young boys watching. The monster can't be a girl. The monster always has to be a guy.
But they go out of their way to make this explanation like it's a he and he's asexual and he was born pregnant because I don't know.
You know all the people who were really, really upset about the fact that the T-Rex from Jurassic Park is a female? Oh yeah, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then, so they have the awkward exchange. They meet up. He tells her about what's going on, and she finds a tape, and that's when she betrays him, and she gets the news report out.
Godzilla.
And the guy from The Simpsons takes it over instead. Do you remember that?
No, what does he do?
And he just rewrites. He takes her out of the stuff that she shot. And he puts himself in.
Wait a minute.
And that's when she says...
There are two people from The Simpsons in this?
Yeah.
The reporter's also from The Simpsons? Holy shit, is that...
The reporter's from The Simpsons, and then there's another woman who is... I think plays Bart, who's in it.
No, she's in Maximum Overdrive, but I don't think she's in this.
No, she's in that.
She is?
There's two Simpsons people.
Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria, yeah. And there's a woman who's a bit extra or whatever, who's in it. Remember the scene where they're like, your story just walked by the window?
Yes.
She's in The Simpsons as the main character, apparently.
Was it Lisa?
Maybe.
Why are there so many Simpsons actors? And
I don't.
It's not even like
know.
they're Simpsons is based in New York. Whatever.
I don't get it.
Whatever. That's fucking weird.
Anyway, so there's a TV in this military meeting, and they all stop their meeting to watch this news report.
As you do.
And it's all the same information that's being told to them that they already know, except that Matthew Broderick is being quoted in it, and then like right there is like, "You're fired. You gave away top secret stuff." And his reaction. This is what he says. He says, "Oh no, I didn't talk to the Audrey. She took the tape. She took it. She took the tape." And then it cuts. And
you know,
it's like,
in defense,
wait a minute.
In defense of Nick Totopoulos, there's a giant monster attack. Like, who cares if the information, like, it's attacking. It's not like a secret anymore. Cat is out of the bag.
But then immediately after, Audrey finds him.
And in the rain, right?
Yeah,
and she's
in the
apologizing.
rain.
And it's like, it's too late.
Yeah, and the acting is so fucking terrible. It's so melodramatic.
Well, you know, she did go on to
do...
Oh, no, she never did anything else of note.
I think it's awful. I think her career ended here.
That's for the best.
Yeah. And then we get a chase scene, and there's a tiny splash of water.
Oh yeah, because he dives in, and then the submarines get him, right?
Yeah,
and
he dives
that's
into
the fake out death.
Yeah, that's the fake out death. Also, leading up to that part, there are 500 helicopters that chase him through Lower Manhattan.
That's amazing.
Do you not remember this part?
No, I
Where
don't.
it's like comedy. Like, he passes by the frame, he's running by, and
They
then
do the
there's like
Benny
a
Hill Scooby-Doo thing.
and then there's a swarm of helicopters, like literally on top of each other, just coming out of the woodworks, zipping past all the buildings. And it's like, how is that possible? It's insane. And then he dives into the water, and then he blows up one submarine, and then the fake out death. And this is the part where it all goes downhill. Do you want to... Is it here?
It's here.
And we're going to take a break because we have Uber.
So he destroys a submarine, fake out death, and this is, I guess, where the movie falls apart for you.
It falls apart because there's like this long break where it's like, we got to get to the nest, or blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, we don't have to. And then there's a whole Jean Reno thing where he comes up and meets Matthew Broderick, and they have a meet cute. And
Wait, Jean Reno doesn't hook up with Matthew Broderick until
that
late?
point.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's way later than I thought.
And at this point, the movie's pretty much over. They find out that he's tunneling through the systems. There's that one terrible shot where it's the two soldiers that are going through the tunnel. And then it's like, it's a dead end. But then, like, his eye comes up and he walks away.
Oh, yeah. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah. Very Jurassic Park because they are raptors.
They're raptors.
They are raptors. Straight up raptors. You looking at how much calories that is?
And are raptors about it.
Oh, that looks good.
Have some.
I'm not having it.
Have some. Stop eating my French fries.
I'm not having your French fries. Anyway. Yeah, completely lost interest. Oh my god. I'm surprised you didn't get the 20 piece.
I'm trying to cut down
Yeah.
my Mac Nugget intake.
I feel like you're gonna pull out 20. Oh, okay, it's just napkins. Alright, that's fine. That's acceptable.
Thank you.
The sweet and sour sauce is good. The puppets. Stan Winston did the puppet work.
Yeah, I remember some of the raptor ones being practical.
When they pop
Some
out of the
elements,
eggs, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, and that's fine and all. But then all the CG stuff. Holy shit! And then it tries to be like this cool kind of like, I don't know, like adventure aspect thing, and then they have like the shootout to try to get out.
I mean, it basically changes genres.
Yeah.
It goes from like a disaster monster movie to like a survival espionage
thing. Because John Renault is there to cover up all the French bullshit that happened.
Because, as you said, it's probably their fault.
It's their fault, yeah. And then the movie's essentially over once they blow up Madison Square Garden.
And here's something, and this is one of the things that you pointed out. Godzilla's size.
Yes.
So
we see him burrowing through the tunnels of New York, and he looks huge. You see him next to like certain buildings, like he's hugging like a building. There's one shot where he's hugging the building, and there's the thunder strike. And he looks big. But then there's parts.
He's eating fish. Kind of small.
He jumps in the water. Small splash. The water displacement is weird, and that's where you can tell the size difference.
Also, like, his head comes through Madison Square Garden. He looks huge.
Yes.
Then in the same sequence, he eats the cab, and his mouth is the exact size of the car.
Of the cab, yeah.
I'm like, that's not big.
At all.
No.
It varies.
It's inconsistent.
Yes. Very inconsistent. It just, whatever they needed, it just, okay, we gotta fit it to scale here. We gotta fit it to the size of the car.
Well, that just sounds like lazy filmmaking.
I think it was. I think they said it in the commentary track. But, at this point, the movie's going on for like 2 hours plus.
Wait, how long is this fucking movie?
It's 140 minutes, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
It's that kind of movie, bro.
They could have ended it right there at the Madison Square Garden point.
I mean, literally,
So do you remember? So you remember the whole cab scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they throw the cab number at O'Neill. He's like, yeah, O'Neill. And he totally heard that. And then it's like,
with all the screaming and the stomping and the earthquake movements, yeah, he fucking heard that.
Sure.
You're insane. And then he breathes fire, which he does once before early on, but it's not really made clear if he's breathing fire or if he's just, his roar is like just, I don't know. It's not really clear. Do you remember the scene?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was pretty clear that he was breathing fire.
Okay, because he only does it like twice, and it just doesn't make any sense to me, like why this would happen.
It is weird that he only does it twice, yeah.
Yeah. And they're in weird spots too. Like it's once in the beginning with the dock scene, and then at this point when he sees all his kids are dead.
Yeah, like why would he have the ability to breathe fire if he was just a lizard that got scaled up?
Yeah. And then we have a scene where they're in the mouth, and I think Matthew Broderick
put the thing in the tooth.
Yeah. John Renault's
and here's the
yelling at Hank Azaria.
That's great. Now here's the thing that confuses me. Godzilla functionally is the antagonist of this film.
Yes.
Much like the original Godzilla.
Yes.
There is no one to fight, so he is the bad guy.
Yes.
Why are we supposed to feel sympathy at the end?
I was going to bring that up. They catch him in the Brooklyn Bridge, and they're shooting at him, and they have this big drawn-out scene where they're like watching him die, and it's like, it's very apparent that it's like, oh, we're supposed to be sad that he's dead, right? Or we're supposed to be happy that he's dead?
Yes.
Or it's like, oh, it's nature and...
But it's not nature.
Yeah, it's not nature because it's an abomination of nature.
See, like, the reason that the original King Kong, I mean, the newer Peter Jackson one, I think, humanized him a lot more. The original King Kong, yes, he's a monster, he shows up, he fucks things up, but number one, he's, you know, a wonder of nature. Like, he's not a mute, like, he is he's also the last of something.
Yeah.
And then he's not here on his own accord. He's brought here by us. So it's our fault that he's here.
Yeah.
And he's only doing what is natural to him.
Yeah.
So it comes off as more as it's not that he's an antagonist, it's a tragedy.
But they still... Okay. So they don't have the tragedy element. But they do say, and they explain it, like they tell us, they don't show us, that, oh, he's just a mindless beast. He's not your enemy. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. And this is Matthew Broderick telling us basically everything about this creature, where in the original Godzilla or in the original King Kong, they don't really do that. It's just kind of set up as like Godzilla is just this thing that was caused by this radiation from the World War II, and it's come to fuck us over. And King Kong...
It's almost like he was a metaphor for nuclear war.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Oh.
And then with King Kong, what you just said, it's like they try to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work.
Like, remember at the end of Independence Day when the aliens get destroyed and they play the sad music? It's like, oh no, not the aliens. They were fine.
No, they weren't. They were attacking us.
Oh yeah! That's why it was triumphant when we fucking blew them up. Welcome to Earth, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Use your MacBook. Use your MacBook, Jeff Goldblum.
It's a cheesing ending. Everybody gets what they want.
Except for Godzilla.
Except for Godzilla, he dies.
But wait. I smell sequel bait. Could it be that one singular egg survived?
Wait, was that in reference to something? The way you said that sounded very familiar to me.
Maybe. Although it just occurred to me as I said that, it did have a sequel, and the sequel was the animated series.
Yeah.
So
the egg pops open, and then Puff Daddy song comes on, and they censor the Puff Daddy song. They leave in all the fucking and cursing, but they cover it over with Godzilla screams.
that's hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, the 90s was a strange time for film.
Yes.
Movies would have tie-in songs that in no way were appropriate. For example, Puff Daddy and Kashmir by Led Zeppelin somehow netted a song that was used in Godzilla. Seal, Kiss from a Rose, Batman Forever. I'm really glad that that's not the world we live in anymore. I really am.
It was bad. I remember liking the song, though. I thought it was badass as a kid.
Yeah. So that's Godzilla.
That's Godzilla.
I would still like to rewatch it. I'm sure it's like not good, but it's probably fun. At least like it's probably worth. It's got to at least have
like
so
I said,
bad it's good moments.
That first hour is fine, and then it just nosedives after that.
Did you ever watch the Japanese Godzilla where they kill the American version of it?
No.
They did that. They had like the OG Godzilla fucking destroy like a CGI version that was very clearly modeled after the American one.
Nice.
All right, so is that our thoughts?
That's our thoughts for Godzilla. What are your thoughts on King Kong, the 1976 version?
Well, I'd like to start off by saying I love Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Lange has the ability to be very good in certain things.
Yeah.
And this movie can go fuck itself. It's the second worst thing to happen to the Twin Towers, as far as I'm concerned. It's a bad fucking movie.
So I remember watching this, like we had it on VHS, and I loved the first King Kong, and it's like, oh shit, there's another one. I gotta watch it. And as a kid,
no, you don't.
As a kid, I thought it was fucking cool. I liked the original more. I couldn't really put my finger on why, but
that's because it's a good film.
Yeah. But I remember watching both of them, and I really, really enjoyed them. And I love like adventure movies. I love giant creature movies. That's why I love like Jurassic Park. I love the Godzilla movie, stuff like that.
So, what major aspects of this film do you remember?
I remember that Jessica Lange is found on floating wreckage.
More or less.
Yes.
Never really
explains what happens.
Yeah, it's a throwaway line. It's like, oh, her ship crashed.
Oh, she wasn't. They didn't go to the island or whatever.
No, just crashed.
It just crashed. Okay. I remember Jeff Bridges was not really a part of the crew.
That's correct.
Because of reasons.
Yes. I will go into all this. You're gonna
because I don't remember. Because unfortunately, what happened was Paul was watching the movie today, and I got in.
I didn't expect the movie to be 2 hours and 15 fucking minutes.
Well, I didn't expect Godzilla to be 2 hours long either.
I started watching it at 5 o'clock, and I told Dave, come over at like 6:30. I should be done. And then I started, and I was like, oh my God, why?
And so I hopped in like in the halfway point. But yeah, I remember that. I remember at the end, they pull the giant gas. What is it? What is it? Gas machine? Where you pump your gas?
A gas pump.
Gas pump. Is that what it's called? Is that it?
That's it. That's that simple.
It's that simple. The fucking gas pump. They pull it off, and he's in a cage. And I forgot about the crown though. But I remembered that part where they pull it off. It's like a big sheet or a big inflatable balloon or whatever, and he's just in like this cage and like this doofy animatronic or whatever. I remember that. And I remember the helicopter Twin Tower scene where they just brutally fucking shoot him up, and it's just squibs, his blood gushing everywhere.
It's like the fucking end scene in Bonnie and Clyde. It's so over the top violent.
It's very over the top. Huh?
So, my experience watching this film. I turn it on, and I don't know how to describe it. The movie just starts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like they're going to the boat. That's it. No introductions. Jeff Bridges just sneaks on. He drops a bunch of money, like bribes his way in. We don't know anyone. We don't know where they're going. We don't know why they're going there. Nothing. It just starts like completely unceremoniously.
Okay, I'm trying to remember, and I just can't.
Yeah, because it's completely fucking unremarkable. Jeff Bridges explains that he theorizes that, like, there's a giant monkey on this island. They,
Wait, so how... Wait a minute. Now I'm lost.
Okay, so the company...
And this is only in the first 5 minutes.
So the company that's going there has a very sound theory that they think there's an island here. The reason is that there are these pictures taken 30 years apart, and there is the same shroud of fog around it. And their theory is that it must be due to a natural deposit of like oil or something, and the fumes are coming from that. Not a scientist. Makes sense for a movie. I can follow that.
Okay.
Jeff Bridges says, I think it is from the exhaling of large creatures.
He says that?
I swear to God. Yes,
no,
and
doesn't.
He is the scientist. These are people looking for oil. He is the scientist from fucking Princeton. They keep him on the ship because they're like, you're going to be the photographer now. And that's when they find Jessica Lange just in the water for literally no reason other than they needed a female. And there's no possible, justifiable reason that a female would be on any kind of scientific exploration. There's just none. It is technically, I think, scientific because they're looking for oil. They think it's there,
Okay. Because the part that I jumped in on, it didn't really seem like a scientific...
No, because they get there, and spoiler alert, they get there. There's very offensive natives there, we'll say.
Yeah. I think in every King Kong movie, it's really dated and offensive. Well, especially the 30s, obviously. But this one more so, I'm guessing.
Yeah. It's more so because they literally have afros and shit.
Mm.
And it's just a lot of gyrating, a lot of unnecessary over-sexualizing. It's fucking weird. It's fucking weird, not gonna lie. Also, it's distracting to see Jeff Bridges has the same haircut as Jessica Lange in this. And I just, do they share products? I want to know. So he falls in love with Jessica Lange fucking immediately.
Okay.
But he doesn't. He seems highly disinterested in her existence.
Yeah.
She just falls in love with him. And I don't know why. Also, I wasn't sure if Jessica Lange was supposed to have either, PTSD or a developmental disability.
Well, the way that she was acting is just, weird and aloof. She looked like she was, insane or something.
Yes. Yes. And I don't know what the thinking was. At first, I thought maybe this is a meta joke. Maybe the joke is that in the movie she's playing somebody who's an aspiring actress, and she plays her like a complete and total fucking airhead. Like, she's an idiot. Her name's Dawn, not Dawn, Dawn, which she then explains is Dawn, but she switched two of the letters because she thought it was more memorable.
You're serious?
Not fucking kidding. She is that stupid.
Are you?
No,
I don't remember that at all.
dude.
Oh
The
my
scene,
God.
her introduction scene goes on for like, I have to say 7 or 8 minutes, and it is like, it's just the movie comes to a screeching fucking halt for this.
Jesus.
So, of course, they go to the island, you know, they see, oh, someone's getting married, a guy looks like an ape dressed up, there's a big wall, what's the wall for? And they find out that the oil's not usable, so the monk, you know, Kong comes in, scoops up Jessica Lange. He looks bad. There's a couple reasons why he looks bad. So the way they did this was, it's very clearly a guy in a suit, and they were just doing, like, rear projection, which is basically OG green screen for people who don't know special effects. And they would work in one animatronic hand that they built. For a while, I was like, did they only build a right hand? Because you only ever see the right hand. There is a left hand occasionally.
I think it was just the once, though.
Yeah, the rear projection looks bad. It looks really, really bad.
And the movie the version that you were watching,
I was watching it on Amazon Prime. The transfer is atrocious. It looks disgusting.
I don't think they cleaned it up at all. Like,
No fucks were given. There's hairs getting caught in the goddamn gate with the film. Like it's.
You see the scratches. You see the
It looks really, really bad. And one of the big issues is that Kong moves at normal speed. The bigger an object looks on film, the bigger it's supposed to be. You're supposed to slow it down a little bit. It gives it more weight and makes it look more natural. Think about Ant-Man when he turns into Giant Man. He doesn't move at the normal speed. He moves much slower because he's bigger. It just makes it look right.
And that's the same thing that was happening in Godzilla 98 version. There's times where he walked extremely slow, and then there's times where he's doing like fucking acrobatic shit or running really fast, and it's like,
yeah,
this doesn't look good.
There are a lot of parallels as to why these movies are not good.
Yeah.
They sexualize the relationship between Kong and Dwan. It's very misguided. It kind of puts just a very uncomfortable feeling, and you know, it's supposed to be like the love between like almost like a pet and a caregiver.
Yeah.
You know, it's not supposed to be like that. Also, like, if you were to do something sexual with her, he'd split her in half. Like, he's huge.
Bless you.
He's huge except for when he isn't, because his size drastically changes from shot to shot.
Yes.
Another huge problem is the way that they have Jessica Lange act. She's always acting as if she's drugged, on the verge of having an orgasm, or just really needs a dicking. Like, it's so strange. She just comes off as like thirsty as fuck in every scene.
But not really?
But sometimes literally. She's like, they're running from King Kong in the city at the end, and she's like, would you buy me a drink? I just want a drink. Let's go get a drink. And the movie stops and they go to a fucking bar.
And they have a drink, and she's like, let's have sex because there was a blackout a couple of years ago and everybody got pregnant there, so let's have sex.
This movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes of Jessica Lange trying to fuck Jeff Bridges, and him being like, nah.
Because even at the end.
No, they don't end up together. The ending is all like nihilistic.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It is such an ineptly made film. Some of the special effects, like, I can appreciate what they were doing for the time. Some of the sets are nice. But, like, there's one set that they walked on, and you and I both went at the same time. Wow, I guess they used this from, they used the Wizard of Oz. It looks exactly like that. But also the editing. The editing is so bad. Like shit like continuity stuff where like somebody's hand will be on their head while they're talking, and it'll cut to another angle of them and their hand will be at their side. Yeah. Like basic filmmaking shit. Yeah. How are you fucking this up? This movie cost a good amount of money. How are you fucking up the fundamentals of filmmaking?
I don't know. I remember this movie being like more action packed, and I think, and now watching this part, like coming into it, and like an hour in, when like they're going through the jungle, Kong's supposed to be like, you know, fighting off creatures or what
He
have
fights
you.
one creature and it lasts 10 seconds.
Yeah. It's boring. I don't know how I got through it as a kid. I must have been like, I don't care. I just want to see more giant ape action. Because you don't pick up on the sexual shit when you're a kid. Like, even like looking back at like old cartoons or stuff like that, you don't see that. Like, because there's a lot of sexual shit in Godzilla too, and it's mostly between
Siskel and Ebert?
No, Hank Azaria and his girlfriend and that kind of stuff. But it's like you never really pick up on that. Like, it just doesn't make sense to you at that time. Like, it's like, I just want to see action and explosions and stuff. And I remember the train sequence, which is actually pretty fun. And again, it only lasts like less than a minute.
You could cut down all the funny or interesting things in this movie to maybe 10 minutes. Like, Dave was saying, like, I don't know what was more interesting, watching the movie or watching Paul's face.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I would imagine a look of just, I was bewildered the entire time. Just exhausted. And I'm just like frustrated.
Have you ever
not even having fun. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
You ever seen Hot Fuzz? I think I've made this comparison before. It's
the best comparison ever.
It's when they're watching the Shakespeare play and the two actors are fucking awful, but at the very end, after they kill themselves,
bang!
Romeo and Juliet, they break out a musical number, and it cuts to Simon Pegg's face in utter horror, just like, what? Wait, what? And his eyes are wide open.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah. That's what it was like watching Paul's face for that last like hour or so.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this movie again.
I don't blame you.
It was fun watching how absurdly violent him getting shot at the end was.
That I don't really remember. I just remembered that he fought the helicopters.
Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange don't do anything in the climax of this movie.
Well,
they are passengers in this.
Well, to be fair, in all the other movies, like Adrian Brody doesn't really do much at that point. I guess what's her name?
Naomi Watts?
Yeah, I was gonna say Nicole Kidman. She kind of does something. I don't know.
Also, how does Jessica Lange teleport from the top of like the North Tower?
Oh yeah, that's funny. She's all the way at the top because Kong brought her all the way up there.
Yeah.
And then as he falls, which looks like she pushed him.
It does. It looks like she pushed him.
Magically, she's at ground level. None of this makes any sense.
Everything's bad. It's very uncomfortable watching aircraft crash into the fucking World Trade Center too.
Yeah.
Which happens.
Well,
in that.
Again, they didn't fucking... Oh, that's what I forgot. In the 98 version of Godzilla...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Isn't there a wide shot and one of the towers is, like, ripped in half?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
I thought there was a wide shot at one point.
No, but island. They do reference that there was the attack...
Oh, God, yeah, the bombing.
The
parking garage.
And they're like, if... That's not going to phase us, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, whatever, we could deal with this giant creature going through these buildings.
Yeah, if a small bomb isn't going to phase us. Man, that line of dialogue, that whole thing did not age well at all.
No. Well, they didn't.
Hey, hindsight's 2020. I'm just saying it's very uncomfortable.
It is, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I remember loving the fuck out of this movie, and I wish
you were wrong.
I am wrong.
Like, I would imagine Godzilla has an ironic appeal. This does not. This was just bad.
This was nostalgia for me. It was just like, I want to be back on this island. I remember the scene where he takes up the log and he's like rolling it around to be like more exciting. Like, as a kid, I had all my Star Wars figures. Like, I got like a log from outside and I put them on it, and I got like an ape figure to like move it around, and I always reenacted that part.
And you know what? It probably looked just as good as it did in the movie, because not since the first RoboCop has a shot of somebody falling into abyss looked so bad, and they do it 3 fucking times.
It's also boring as fucking shit. It's bad, man. And then the shot with like it's the big Godzilla, the King Kong in the suit, and he's overlooking the cliff, and they have the insert of Jeff Bridges,
which you can vaguely see the blue screen.
Yes,
like
not vaguely.
You can see
you
it.
can see it.
Yeah, they forgot to key it out.
Yeah,
I guess I don't know how you fucked that up. You know what it feels like? Do you ever see A History of Violence?
Yeah.
So there's the one scene where is it? Oh God, what's the actor's name? Who plays his brother? His brother.
Ed Harris?
No. His brother was it William Hurt?
Oh, William Hurt. Yeah.
William Hurt. So William Hurt's talking to Joey, and
Joey.
His henchman goes to strangle him, and Joey escapes and busts the fucking henchman's nose. And he just gets up and he walks over slowly. He's not even angry. He's more just like confused and frustrated. And he just goes, "How did you fuck that up?" And he shoots him and he goes, "How did you fuck that up? You had King Kong, hundreds of millions of dollars, Jessica Lange willing to show all the side boob that ever existed, Jeff Bridges. This should have been a fucking slam dunk."
Nope.
Fucking Italian people. Yeah. Get it together, you guinea wop dagos. I can say that. I'm Italian.
And then he went on to do the sequel where
the transplant.
He gets an open heart surgery,
which is known to fix gunshot wounds.
Yes. After he fell off the World Trade Center, got shot up all to hell, he gets a heart transplant and he's fine.
Now, Dave, some of our audience might not have been alive when the World Trade Center was still here.
Yes.
Now that is they were tall, right?
Yeah, they were very tall.
Like on a scale of like 1 to 10,
they were at least
probably like what, top 4 buildings in Manhattan at the time.
Yeah, those were the tallest buildings, and yeah.
So if a 30 to 60 foot ape, because he changed his size from that, were to fall off, he'd probably be reduced to like, I don't know, liquid.
Yeah, he'd probably be strewn all over the sidewalk. Yeah. But no, they gave him a new heart. It's fine.
I just want to know.
How the fuck did they find a heart big enough? Did they piece it together? Did they Frankenstein it?
I assumed it was bionic. Who was working on an animatronic heart that size?
I don't know. Why would you need one in the first place? Without knowing that King Kong was around.
The plot said so.
And that movie failed spectacularly. So that was our reviews of these nostalgic movies,
which both ended up being giant monster movies as well.
Yeah. But now we have a special treat for you. We're not going to do it here. You'll probably see it later. But we each came up with a drink to go along with these movies. So for some reason, if you want to watch King Kong 1976 or you want to see Godzilla 1998 and you want a
signature drink,
and yeah, you want something that's going to knock you out because you need it, stay tuned and see what we come up with.
We will have videos of this on YouTube, iTunes. I'm sorry, but you're only getting audio of this. So if you want to see it in its full glory, you can watch it on YouTube on the On the Rocks video version, or we'll be posting them separately as standalone uploads in our little drink playlist.
Yep. So that's about it. I don't know. We don't really have anything lined up for the future, so we'll probably just wing it. I mean, we could always watch
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, I was going to say The Guard, but
I know you were. That's why I stopped.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah, but like we said, we don't have anything lined up in the future, so we'll probably just...
Guys, let us know if you're into this whole nostalgia thing, because we have so many movies we can pick from.
Yeah.
I actually picked up a Powerline Band t-shirt in anticipation of you picking the Goofy movie, which I'm almost positive will hold up.
I hear that it's a good movie. I have never seen it.
What?
So it would be like a first time.
That was like me with King Kong. I'd never seen it before, and I wish it stayed that way. You'll definitely at least like the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
It's way more adult than it had any right being.
Yeah. And like you said, we probably have a treasure trove of stuff. I mean, there's so much we can choose from. Let us know if there's something that you like from your nostalgic area. Maybe we feel the same way about that and we can review that or whatever.
Yeah,
or we can just disregard anything you say and fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever. We don't care. Maybe we'll break the embargo and the NDAs that we signed with the movie that we saw the other week that's not coming out for several months. No, we're not going to do that. We don't want to get sued.
No. Should we even mention that? Should we tell everybody that it's Finding Nemo 3? Finding More Nemo?
No.
Oh.
Actually, it's a really progressive take on Finding Nemo 3 where it's about Nemo finding himself and going through a sex change, as clownfish are known to do. That's just biology, people. Look it up.
So he's asexual and he's pregnant all the time?
Also, he's played by Scarlett Johansson.
I think we should end the episode before this gets very angry and fueled up.
It can't be as bad as my Facebook.
Because people might get triggered.
Oh, we wouldn't want to trigger anyone, would we?
No. I'm triggered.
You're triggered?
I'm triggered right now. I'm seeing that McDonald's and I'm getting so fucking triggered.
Oh, that had a weird sexual connotation. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul Tino Braun. This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Have a good one.
Yeah, later, people.
You didn't say goodbye, Dave.
No, because you cut me off. You have the pause.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where you said your name and then my name, and then you cut me off because you're a fuck.
All right. Let me just...
No, we're not doing it again. It's over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's over.
It's
we're
really
done.
aggressive.
We're just... Well, because I'm triggered. That's why.
Yeah.
I was triggered from the start.
Do you want a Mac Nugget?
Yes.
Here you go.
All right, thank you.
Have a week.
Hi.
This is where the magic happens.
Yes.
And by magic, we mean really the audio podcast equivalent of a hate crime against cinema.
And booze.
Also booze.
Yeah.
So, Dave, I want you to quick go over your concept behind your drink. Well, what were you trying to channel with it?
Well, we're making a signature drink for both movies. Mine for King Kong, yours for Godzilla. And mine was going to be like a frozen, like, smoothie, tropical smoothie type thing because they're on an island and, you know, surrounded by water.
Makes sense.
It makes sense. Thank you, Matthew. And I wanted to give off that island vibe. So I have rum and coconut sparkling rum, which I just bought today, and I have no idea how any of this is going to taste. And we should really title this Two Jackasses Trying to Be Mixologists.
I mean, I just think it's a nice little throwback to what we were trying to do with the original concept of On the Rocks.
Yes.
But I guess I can go fuck myself. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to, Godzilla, but what fuels him?
Yes.
Atomic energy.
Yes.
And in theory, these crazy things, the absinthe, the Caraco, the Swedish fish, the Doritos, you would hope it would grant you strength, when in reality, probably cancer. So that was where I was coming from with my drink.
It goes well with the radiation.
It goes great with the radiation.
Yeah.
So why don't we just get right into it? You make your drink, I'll make my drink, and then we will do a taste test and enjoy.
All right, so you take the fucking frozen... So you have to cut up a pineapple, freeze it, jam it in there with your fucking fingers like that. All right, so then you take your rum, and we're not going to measure it. We're just going to pour a good amount in there, like so. And then we're going to open up our Malibu sparkling rum, which is like a champagne, I guess? I don't really know. I should have opened up this before we started, but since we're amateur fucks, it doesn't really matter.
Hold up, is that sparkling rum?
Yeah.
It's carbonated rum.
Yeah. It's sparkling carbonated rum. And, should do this away from the microphone?
Maybe.
Nice. Alright. So you take that and you fill up the rest of it.
That's good.
Oh, what? It's gonna overflow?
No, yeah. I mean, yes, but it's good. That's good. You're fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you?
Don't.
No, what?
No.
Do you want?
There's a line. There's a fill line.
I don't see it, so I'm gonna keep going.
No, don't. It won't blend.
It's fine.
Damn it, Dave.
It's fine. We're all right.
Okay.
It's fine. And then you can keep that because, yeah. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna blend it. This is the Rainforest Cafe because, of course, again, tropical. Brought to us by the incredible Trump Plaza Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. That's closed. And so we blended our drink. And we're just going to pour that right in. Nice frothy mix. Get all that out. Get all that out. So I'm going to get all that out. Should take at least 10 seconds. There you go. You want to blend that for at least 30 seconds or so. And there you have it. The eighth wonder of the world.
So this is going to be a little bit of an experiment. First, we got these Doritos. This is integral. You're going to take a handful out. One. Make them two. 2 Doritos. Fist. You got to smash that up. You want that to be a nice powdery substance. Without Dorito crumbs, we can't properly do this. Some people use a mortar and pestle. I'm, not. Some people. Now, you get your Sprite from McDonald's. You have to get it from a major fast food place. You can't buy this on its own. It's important to the process that you buy it from somewhere else. You got to get those Happy Meal toys, all right? Merchandising. It's important. You pour about halfway with Sprite. Now you got that Sprite in there. You're going to hit it with a little bit of green food coloring. Green food coloring, also important. Because nothing is healthier than green-looking liquid. Give that a little stir. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just fucking magnificent? Now, Dave, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Can you get me another? Never mind. Now, we're going to put this over here for a brief moment. Bammy wham. The glass. You want to take the glass, dip the rim in. Why are we doing this, you say? Good question. Oh yeah. We're gonna salt the rim with the Dorito. Oh, isn't she beautiful? Fly the Doritos out. We don't need them anymore. I'm gonna pour this just right back in. Just get that in there. Oh, look at it. Now, as anyone knows, when you're trying to catch Godzilla, what do you need?
A lot of fish.
You need a lot of fish. So you're gonna grab a healthy amount of these guys. Oh yeah, bammy wham. Just drop them in there, cause you need fish. You need a lot of fish. It's coming together pretty good. You know what I think we need? Just a touch, just a kiss of this stuff. Now we don't need too much, cause the booze we're gonna throw in at the end, it's gonna be some next level shit. There we go. Now we get to the finisher. Absinthe. It's good for your body and your soul. But the really fun part about absinthe is its incredibly high alcohol content. And now we finish it off. I'm gonna place this right there. So we got our Sprite, our lot of fish. We got some blue Caraco, Dorito dust on the rim, and fire. Fire. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a box office bomb. It's horrifying. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how it is done.
Yes. We have our eighth wonder of the world.
And our box office bomb. Cheers.
To you.
It's horrible.
Mine's pretty good. It's not that bad. Yours, I'm not going to try. I am not going to try
it's
that.
like mostly absinthe.
Yeah, you poured a lot in there, buddy. You all right? Are you okay?
Good. We'll include the recipes down in the
below.
description.
Yeah, we're going to have detailed. So detailed. Just like this video.
He's got the best words.
All the best.
And when we said that we were going to do it, I misspoke. I said we weren't going to do it.
We're going to do it.
It's fine. Ladies and
Okay,
gentlemen.
we're not going to do it.
We're not going to do it.
Okay, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another terrifyingly unsuccessful episode of On the Rocks. I'm Paul Danino Braun.
And I'm Dave.
I remember this time. I did it right this time.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good week. Enjoy good movies.
Enjoy your booze. Don't enjoy that booze.
That
enjoy
is
my
a
booze.
literal absinthe floater.
Oh my god. That's terrifying. Are those the fish? That is the fish in the glass swimming around.
Fish.
I mean, yeah, you can have his drink if you're feeling adventurous and you want to die. Or have mine and enjoy it on the beach. But bring a blender.
Beach blender!